Omagyana Trivindasya Ganangana Salakaya Chakshus Mitayena Tasmasi Gurave Nama Sri Chaitanya Manobhishta Stapitayena Bhutale Sayarupa Kadamanyadati Sampadantikam Vandeha Sri Guru Shitam Parakamala Sri Guru Vaishnavascha Sri Rupan Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathan Sajivan Sadaitan Savadutan Parijana Saitan Sri Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishaka Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kantu Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gorange Radha Bindavanishwari Vishabhana Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakapatarabhyascha Kripasvindivaivacha Patitanam Panavebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavadanjaya Krishna Prima Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Goratase Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Ananda Lila Maya Bigraya Emabada Vichavi Sundaraya Tasma Maha Premasra Pudaya Chaitanya Chandra Nama Namastute Chaitanya Chandra Nama Namastute. So I thank everyone for coming this evening for our nightly edition of discourse on Bhagavad-Gita. So Bhagavad-Gita, of course, as we have heard several times, that is the supreme word of Lord Sri Krishna speaking to his dear devotee Arjuna. So the Lord is communicating to his devotee Arjuna, because Lord Krishna does not speak directly to living entities, conditioned souls. He only speaks through his devotees. Back to Shime Shaka Sheti. So this discussion has been very enlivening since the chapter 2, whereby Lord Krishna has been enlightening Arjuna about fulfilling his duty as a warrior. Because when we say warrior, it's not just be on the battlefield, because being this material world is a battlefield. The Ketra, they have the Ketra, and there is a Ketra. The Ketra is a field, so it's basically a battlefield. And the Ketra is the dweller of the body, or the knower of the field, the living entities, who is had to deal with this battle of materialistic existence. And of course, we're here because of our own misdoings. We are not supposed to be here, but somehow we're here. Now we have to get ourselves out of it. And getting out of it is also not that easy. It's not that easy because we have to constantly wage war against the material energy. And as Krishna says, Maya Dakshina Prakriti, Suyati Sachara, that my material energy is very difficult to overcome. Anybody who thinks that they can conquer Maya, they simply deceiving themselves. But by the grace of Krishna, the living entities can overcome the influence of Maya. So therefore, it's a constant struggle being in this material existence. Because the living entities, the jiva, they are captured. They are bound tightly by the materialistic energy. And they have to struggle again and again. Prakriti Shakashati. Kashati means to struggle, not to struggle, constantly all the time. But it's possible to get out of the clutches of material energy through the grace of sadhu and through the grace of the Lord, the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna himself. So this is the whole point of Bhagavad-Gita. So a lot of discussion has been made different topics of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, of course Bhakti Yoga. So different topics have been discussed throughout the 18 chapters of the Bhagavad-Gita. And from the 14th chapter, we have been discussed on the three modes of material nature. The three modes of material nature have been discussed since the chapter 14. And these three modes of material nature, this carries on till the chapter 18. And is mentioned later in the Bhagavatam, in the 11th canto of the Bhagavad-Gita. So Lord Krishna is enlightening his dear devotee, another devotee, Uddhava, just like we have Arjuna, is the dear devotee of Krishna. Also another very, very close devotee of Krishna is Uddhava. He's one of the Lord's servants. So the Lord is telling Uddhava that in this material world, no one is free from the influence of the three modes of material nature. Everyone is tightly bound, by it. So the Lord says, "Sabe guna maya bhava purusa vyakta dishtita drishtan shutan anudhyatan buddhya bha purusha asabha." So the Lord is saying that, oh, best of human beings, all states of being that are heard, seen, or thought of are the results of the interaction of the soul with the three modes of material nature. See, all our activities, everything, all our samskaras, all according to the three modes of material nature. So we are bound by this, Just like sometimes you go to a circus, and in that circus you see there's a puppeteer, and then there's a puppet. So the puppeteer is basically pulling the string of the puppet, and the puppet can only function according to the to the dictate, to the pullings of the puppeteer. Correct? So we in this material energy, we are like that. We are not the real doer of our own activities. Or whatever we do is all being pulled by the material energy through these three ropes: Satyagun, Rajagun, and Tamagun. So this is the three strings. We have been pulled this way, that way, this way, that way. So which means we have no independence. And if we think we are independent, that's a big illusion. So this, there are these concluding 5 verses which we are discussed today. I was told that text 36 to 40, which deal with the happiness and the type of happiness, the 3 types of happiness that are there in this material world. The happiness in the mode of goodness, in the mode of ignorance, and in the mode of passion. So this is what our discussion is going to be based on these topics: the happiness, the different types of happiness that the living entities are subjected to according to the 3 modes of material nature. So we can all read together from text number 36. Yes, I'm correct, right? I think 36, right? Okay. So 36, chapter 18, text 36. So kantu idanim tribidam Srinu me bharata sabha Abhyastadramate yatra Dukantam cha nigacchati Sukham, happiness. 2, birth. Trividam, Idanim, now. Trividam, of 3 kinds. Shrinu, hear. Me, from me. Bharata Sabha, who begs among the Bharatas. Abhyasat, by practice. Ramate, one enjoys. Yatra, where. Dukkha, of distress. Antam, the end. Cha, also. Nigachati, gains. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. O best of the Bharats, now please hear from me about the three kinds of happiness by which the conditioned souls enjoys, and by which he sometimes comes to the end of all distress. Purport. A conditioned soul tries to enjoy material happiness again and again. Thus, he chooses the chewed. But sometimes, in the course of such enjoyment, he becomes relieved from material entanglement by association with a great soul. In other words, a conditioned soul is always engaged in some type of sense gratification, but when he understands by good association that it is only a repetition of the same thing and is awakening to his real Krishna consciousness, he is sometimes relieved from such repetitive so-called happiness. So this is the nature of the material world, in the sense that our so-called happiness, whatever we try to enjoy, is just the repetition of the same thing which has been tasted again and again. Chewing the chew, sometimes somebody already chew a sugar cane and throw it aside, another person pick it up, try to chew the same thing. It's like trying to squeeze out some kind of juice from that which already been chewed, So how much taste, how much juice can one actually get from that? So that is the nature of material world, because every form of happiness that we try to obtain, it's already been experienced before. There's nothing new. There's nothing new about sense gratification. Is anything new about sense gratification? Nothing is new. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. This is what the whole living entities, this is what they are pursuing. And it doesn't matter what form of life one is engaging in. Either, because of all there are 8.4 million species of life, starting from aquatics, then reptiles, plants, animals, and birds, and then human being and all that. It's all this, even up to the planet of demigods. But of course, in Bhagavad-Gita, Lord Krishna said that the Abrahma Bhuvana Loka, Puna Vatino Ajini said, it doesn't matter where you go, it's the same thing. You can go up and you can go up to the highest planet, to the lower planet. It's the same thing, the same pursuit, the pursuit of happiness. This is what everyone is trying to pursue, this is what the pursuit of happiness. But no one has really got his satisfaction. No one has really got it. That yes, I've attained and I've got it now. Now I'm so much happy now. And just like when Narada Muni, when he was traveling to the higher planets, he was trying to find out who's actually a satisfied person, who is actually a devotee, who has attained the grace of the Lord. So he was traveling different places, then so somehow he went to the higher planet. He went to the planet of Indra. Even though everything is there so smooth, all the enjoyment is there, and people they live a very long life, thousands and thousands of years. So when Narada Muni, when he was telling Indra that, oh my dear Indra, you must have obtained the mercy of the Lord, because here in this planet, you live for such a very long period of lifetime. You are fully satisfied, and you are directly serving the Supreme Lord. So therefore, you must be a recipient of the Lord's mercy. So Indra Dev said, my dear Narada-Muni, you should know that in this heavenly planet, even though we have everything that is to be enjoyed, but at the same time, we're always full of fear. After all, you're in the heavenly planet, you can't live there forever. Eventually, it has to end eventually. One has to come down. Because that is the nature of material world, nothing lasts forever. But when we are under illusion, we think that everything lasts forever, when we are under illusion. So therefore, the Lord said, because of the contact with material senses, so the conditions, so they try to enjoy themselves again and again. So this is the point. And however, he's saying here that but when someone's, like Prabhupada is mentioning here, that if someone is actually awakened to Krishna consciousness, then the person can be relieved of the repetitive so-called happiness, which we don't really get in the material world, but we think that we are getting it in the material world. So there are three types of happiness which have been described. The happiness in the mode of goodness, happiness in the mode of passion, and happiness in the mode of ignorance. So in the text 37, so I'm going to read I'm going to be going, because I'm supposed to cover five verses. Yata dagrevishan eva pariname mitopanam itasu kan satukam proktam atma bodhi prasadajam. That which in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end is just like nectar, and which awakens one to self-realization, is said to be happiness in the mode of goodness. And Srila Prabhupada said in the purport here, in the pursuit of self-realization, one has to follow many rules and regulations to control the mind and the senses, and to concentrate the mind on the self. All these procedures are very difficult, bitter like poison in the beginning, but if one is successful in following the regulations and comes to the transcendental position, he begins to drink rare nectar and he enjoys life. Normally there are two types of process in this world. There is what we call prayer, and that's what we call Shreya. Prayer and Shreya. You're familiar with the terms? Prayer and Shreya. Basically prayer is, what's pertain to immediate, gratification, immediate senses. Prayer. It's just like, the prime example is sex. Sex, like, okay, one wants to gratify one's senses, so one approach the opposite sex, and the opposite sex, opposite gender, to have sex, because one wants to have the immediate enjoyment. So that is prayer. In the beginning, it seems to be delightful in the beginning. But every study I've known that, it may be delightful in the beginning, the enjoyment itself may be there, but that enjoyment that is there is very, very ephemeral, very, very temporary, because the suffering that accrues to that is much, much bigger than the enjoyment that one gets. But in this world, everyone trying to enjoy, everyone trying to have immediate gratification. Just like somebody come to work for you, so immediately they want to find out how much I'm going to get. What is my salary? How much I'm going to get by working for you, by working. Because after all, that's what everyone is pursuing in this material world. That's called prayer. What can give us the immediate satisfaction? Whereas spiritual life is opposite that. Spiritual life is a part of Shreya. Shreya means that in the beginning, the process may be like, very poisonous. It's very, very difficult, full of austerity. Just like when let's say you join the Hare Krishna society, you are brahmachari in the temple, obviously you have to wake up, 3 o'clock in the morning, get ready for Mangalatis, and all that. So it's difficult because this is a time when everyone is enjoying, when everyone is sleeping nicely, but you have to wake up early in the morning. And if you want to live in ashram, that's what you have to do. Wake up early in the morning, attend Mangalati, and do your japa, attend classes. So which means the first 4 or 5 hours of the day, you have to engage in some form of tapasya, one or the other. You have to. That's the requirement, However, if one is able to sustain, if one is able to tolerate that austerity of doing that, the end result of it, what is waiting for one who's able to withstand that, is actually quite immense. It's just like one sage. One sage was going about his way, and as he was going about his way, he saw one brahmachari. And this brahmachari, when he saw the brahmachari, so he told the brahmachari, Majiva. Majiva means don't leave. So he told the brahmachari, don't leave, because this brahmachari, performing so much austerities, we all know the kind of austerities that brahmachari perform. In the early morning, you have to go into the forest and take wood for the guru. Take wood so that the guru can perform fire sacrifice. So many austerities there. And sometimes a requirement is that if a brahmachari is supposed to eat only when the guru gives the permission to eat. And if the guru forgets to give the permission to eat, then the brahmachari have to fast. You see? That's actually, being a brahmachari life is actually a very tough life. Of course, nowadays in our society, it seems to be easy. But I used to remember the time, in the early days of the society, when I was in Vrindavan, that time we used to wake up in the morning, and it's so cold like anything. Still, we had to break the ice just to take shower, because so that was freezing, ice, To take shower, we had to break the ice, and we are talking of, like 16 degree, Fahrenheit weather, ice cold. In West Virginia. So, and we have to do it and it's not that the devotees don't have the means to have a nice hot shower, but if you want to be a brahmachari, you have to perform such austerities. So the sage say, Majiva, don't leave. And then the sage was going about, and then he saw a prince. When he saw the prince, he told the prince, Mamaro, don't die. So the brahmachari said, Majiva, don't leave. But the prince, he told him, Mamaro, don't die. And then he was going. Then he saw a butcher. He said, Mamaro, Majiva, don't leave and don't die. Mamaro, Majiva, don't leave and don't die. Then he saw a Vaishnav. So to the Vaishnav he said, Jivava Maruva. Jivava Maruva to the Vaishnav. So to the brahmachari, who is Majiva, he said, because this brahmachari is performing so much austerities, so much, tapasya that was undergoing. So therefore, he said that for you, no need for you to continue living, because higher existence is waiting for you. You go to a higher planet and have so much enjoyment for a long period of time. So okay, he said for you, there's no need for you to continue living. So he told the brahmachari that way. And then for the prince, who is so full of enjoyment because he has all the facilities for sense gratification, so he told him, Mamaro, don't die. Because if you die, you're going to have to suffer so much. Because there's so many living entities that you have inconvenienced. So much suffering is waiting for you in your next life. So therefore, you better don't die. Because the moment you die, terrible existence is waiting for you. And then for the butcher, he said, Jivava Maruva, don't live and don't die. Because for a butcher, his life is already miserable. dealing with killing animals every day, So the life is already miserable. And then when he die, the bigger suffering is waiting for him his next life. He has to go to the earliest planet, he has to suffer so much. So he said for you, don't live and don't die. Your life is already miserable, And of course for the Vaishnava, he said Jiva Vamarova, for you either living or dead, it doesn't matter. Because for a Vaishnava, it's already situated in a blissful service of the Lord. His life is fully dedicated to the service of the Lord. So to him, and when he give up his body, he will continue doing the same thing. Because bhakti it's not that we are performing bhakti now, and then when we give up our body, the bhakti is finished. No. There's a sadhana and then there's sadhya. Sadhana is with bhakti devotional service, and a sadhya is also devotional service. We are chanting now to develop Krishna prema, and when love of Krishna is developed, that chanting will also continue. It's not that the time will come when you will stop chanting. That time will never come. As a matter of fact, the time will come whereby your chanting becomes so sweet that you never want to stop chanting, because you find Krishna becomes so very, very sweet that you be praying to, oh, my dear Krishna, please give me millions and millions of mouths so that I can be able to chant your name. Please give me millions and millions of ears to be able to hear your names. Like the gopis, they will chastise Lord Brahma, that, oh, Brahma, what kind of eye you have given us? You only gave us only 2 eyes to see Krishna. Why haven't you given us so many, many eyes? Why do you put a bunch of eyes all over our body? And not just that, these 2 eyes, it also blinking. And this blinking, it's preventing us from seeing Krishna continuously. So what kind of creator are you? So in this way, the gopis, they were chastising Lord Brahma. Because the time comes whereby devotional service becomes so sweet, becomes so ecstatic, that one actually begins to relish it every moment, one begins to relish it. So a devotee, his life, the life of his devotee is always auspicious. So either living or dying is the same thing. Just like Lord Krishna is saying, furthering on this type of happiness in the Bhagavad-Gita. So Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna that he said, Yadagre chanu bandicha sukha mohana atmanaha nidralasya pramadotam tat tamasam udharitam, that happiness which covers the nature of the self from beginning to end, and which arises from sleep. Oh, 1 second. Okay, there's 3 types of happiness here. Because the Lord is talking of the niguna, the happiness which is beyond the 3 modes of material nature. So because the Lord is talking about the happiness which is beyond which is the niguna, it's beyond the 3 modes, it's not sattvika, rajasic or tamasic. This kind of happiness is beyond the 3 modes of material nature, and that is kind of happiness which is a result from rendering the devotional service to Krishna. Because the happiness of the devotees is beyond the 3 modes of material nature. It's beyond the 3 modes. So it's not that okay, devotees and the tamagun. It's not that they are in sattvagun. No, it's actually niguna is beyond the 3 modes of the material nature, and that kind of happiness is actually much lasting happiness. But before we come further to this point, so the happiness which is in the mode of goodness is that which is in the beginning is like poison. But in the end, it's nectar in the end. That is the mode of goodness. So that's why sometimes the people, especially the yogis, the sages, because they always in pursuit of self realization, and they don't depend on just trying to get immediate gratification. So therefore, their happiness, what they get is very, very enduring. So we should not pursue the path of prayer. Rather, we should pursue the path of Shreya. So Shreya is what is much more enduring, not the path of prayer. So and then the next verse, it mentioned the happiness in the mode of passion, which basically fits in the prayer type of endeavor. Vishayendriya samyoga yattadagre nimito panam parina mebi shaniva tatsu kan rajasa smritam. This is text number 38. That happiness which is derived from contact of the senses with their objects, and which appears like nectar at the first, but poison at the end, is said to be in the mode of passion, is said to be of the nature of passion. So in the purpose, the purpose said, a young man and a young woman meet, and the senses drive the young man to see her, to touch her, and to have sexual intercourse. In the beginning, this may be very, very pleasing to the senses, but at the end, or after some time, it becomes just like poison. They are separated, or there is divorce, there is lamentation, there is sorrow, etc. Such happiness is always in the mode of passion, because happiness derived from a combination of the senses and the sense objects is always a cause of distress and should be avoided by all means. So this is very, very instructive, that we should not be a pleasure seeker. We should not be a pleasure seeker. Just like we often hear in the beginning of our devotional life, we often hear that that Krishna consciousness and ease of life do not go together. Ease of life, we want something, we want everything very, very easy, and at the same time we want to practice Krishna consciousness. So they don't go together. Ease of life, we should not be using everything must be very, very simple. So which means the austere life must always be there. One should voluntarily, take up austerity. The voluntary austerity should be there. Because after all, austerity is not forced. It's not that one is being forced to perform austerity, because it's not like a child. Even though of course, sometimes the guru said, okay, don't do this, don't do that. Even though in the beginning, a person may feel maybe discontent, but eventually it become easier. Eventually, become easier. But the ease of life is not something that somebody who's serious about self-realization should pursue. In all the ashram, all the 4 ashram, there's some kind of austerity is always there. Brahmacharya life, Grihastha life also, austerity is there. Even the one may think, okay, I'm a Grihastha now, so therefore I cannot enjoy myself. I can have sex with my wife. I can have a nice palatable dishes. No. Austerity is also there. It's not that there's no austerity there. Not talk of after some time of Grihastha life, the vanaprastha also have to come. Perform austerity. You go to the forest. In this age, you can't go to the forest. Go to the city and preach Krishna consciousness. That's vanaprastha life. And then ultimately sannyas. So in every stage of Vedic ashrams, austerity is always there because spiritual life is based on that. Spiritual life is based on the performance of austerity. As a matter of fact, the whole material world is based. How did Lord Brahma create this material world? By performing austerity. The Lord, the Lord said, I created this material world based on austerity. Lord Brahma has to perform austerity in order to create, also to maintain. Also, is austerity to maintain. Just like trying to be a temple president. It's not easy to be a temple president as a maintainer, is it? I don't know if you've been a temple president before, Prabhu. Have you? You've been, right? Temple president before?
No.
It's tough.
No, I was one that cleans the toilets.
That's also a big austerity, So every endeavor it's involved austerity. That's it. One have to perform austerity. So creation is done by austerity. Maintenance of material world is done by austerity, and also dissolution of material world is also based on austerity. It's also based on austerity. So therefore, the spiritualists they are told that yes, you must perform austerity for any form of attainment. It must be there. So therefore, that's all the part of Shreya that is there. So, but ultimately, the reward is there. Ultimately, the reward is there, and that reward, when one cross that part of austerity, so that the reward that is there, that becomes everlasting. That reward that is there, that becomes everlasting. So the materialists, they are the one that's always following that path, whereby they can always get immediate happiness, but the result of that is always distress. It's always one problem after the other. So therefore, in this day and age, people have all kinds of psychologists, therapists, and so happen that especially in the West, everybody has got a therapist, and then you also have therapists of the therapist, because the therapists, they're hearing so much problems of people, so they themselves they need a therapist. So you have therapists of the therapist. It become like it's a one skill after the other. Yeah. So material world, no one can be happy in material world. No one can be happy. So therefore, Mahaprabhu said that Krishna Bhakta Niskam Ataiva Shanto Bhakti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakalya Santo. That in this material world, no one is happy, no one is really peaceful. Only Krishna devotees, they are the only one who are happy, who are peaceful. Why? Because Bhakti Mukti Siddhi Kami, those who are pursuing sense gratification, even those who are pursuing so-called yoga mystics, all of them, they have no peace because they all have some expectation, desire, they want to enjoy something. But because Krishna Bhakta, Krishna devotee, they have no any expectation. They just want to serve Krishna for the enjoyment of Krishna, that's all. They want to serve Krishna only for the satisfaction of Krishna. So because of that, they are always happy, they are peaceful, they are happy all the time. When the gopis were in the forest, just like every evening here, during Kartik time, we sing the Gopi-Gita. What's the Gopi-Gita? Because the gopis, they were in the forest, because Krishna disappeared from the forest. So the gopis, they were lamenting for separation of Krishna. So they were lamenting and then they were singing this song, which, which we sing, there are 19 verses of this Gopi-Gita, which the gopis sang Hare Krishna. So why are they singing these songs? It's not because they just want Krishna to come so that they can be with him, they can enjoy with him. No, the gopis are saying, our dear Krishna, you being away from us is actually giving us suffering, Now, that suffering is not because of our own, because we know that for you not being with us, you're not getting happiness from this. You're not getting any happiness from this, because they know that Krishna actually wants to be happy by being with the gopis, but him not being there, so the gopis are feeling that Krishna is not happy by not being with them. So therefore, they are chanting these beautiful prayers, so that Krishna can come and so that Krishna can get his happiness. They say, Yate Sujato Charanaham Sane, so that my dear Krishna, our dear Krishna, you are walking alone in the forest and your foot is piercing so many stones because your foot is so soft. And this foot, if we feel that if we place this foot on our breast, we feel that because we feel that our breast is very hard and it's hurting your foot. But the same foot now is not roaming around in the forest, because in Vrindavan, Krishna does not wear shoe in Vrindavan. So it's not wandering about, and there's so many pebbles, stones, but that's piercing your feet. And this is giving us so much pain, giving us so much anxiety that your foot is being affected by all the stones. So therefore, Krishna, he had no choice than simply run to the gopis. He has to come out. These gopis, they desire my happiness. Their lamentation is not because of their enjoyment. Their lamentation is for Krishna's enjoyment. They desire my enjoyment, so therefore let me go before them. So immediately Krishna appeared before them. Immediately. And that's why it said that Vrindavan Parityaja Padameka na Brajeda, in Vrindavan is a place whereby Krishna does not go away. Krishna is always in Vrindavan. He's always in Vrindavan. Why? Because this is a place where, people actually love him. People love him for his happiness, not for their own happiness. So therefore Krishna is always in Vrindavan. And that's also is mentioned that any devotional activity that we perform here in Vrindavan is 100 more times much more potent than what we may perform any other place. So therefore we should consider ourselves to be very fortunate that we are here in Vrindavan, and especially during the month of Kartik. It's a very, very, very auspicious month, the month of Damodara. Okay. So therefore the Lord is talking about this happiness, which is in the beginning is like poison, and in the end is like nectar, and in the second one, the mode of passion, in the beginning is like nectar, but in the end is like poison. And another form of happiness, Yada Gre Chano Bandicha Sukha Mohanatmana Nidrashya Pramadotam Tatamasan Udharitam. And that happiness which is blind to self-realization, which is delusion from beginning to end, and which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion, is said to be of the nature of ignorance. So Srila Prabhupada wrote here, one who takes pleasure in laziness and in sleep is certainly in the mode of darkness, ignorance, and one who has no idea how to act and how not to act is also in the mode of ignorance. For the person in the mode of ignorance, everything is illusion. There is no happiness, either in the beginning or at the end. For the person in the mode of passion, there may be some kind of happiness, some ephemeral happiness in the beginning, and at the end, distress. But for the person in the mode of ignorance, there is only distress, both in the beginning and at the end. And of course, it so happened that those who are in the mode of ignorance, even though they are so much covered by illusion, they cannot actually discriminate between it. They can't really discriminate because they've lost total sense of discrimination. They're always perpetually under illusion. So sometimes they think they are happy, that, just like a deranged person, a mad person, he was always intoxicated, always intoxicated. So you think that, this is fine for me. I'm very happy. I'm fine. You know, it was actually sometimes the good Vaishnavas, sometimes they say that the two type of people are happy in this material world. One is a pure devotee of Krishna, a Paramhansa, and the other one is a first-class fool. You know, so both are happy. You know, one has transcendental happiness, and one has illusory happiness. But so both are happy, and everybody in between, they are, always suffering, no happiness. So therefore, the karmis, the mixed devotees, everybody in between, there's really no happiness. You know, so which means the first-class devotee, they are always happy because they are completely transcendental. Whereas the mixed devotee, because mixed devotee sometimes with their happiness is there, like we get nice prashad, so we're happy. But if you are told to do something, we say, oh no, why me? Why not this person? Why have to do that? So so therefore there's always some kind of misgiving is there. And of course the materialists, there's no really happiness for them. It's always one anxiety, one misery after the other. But a first-class fool, like a total drunkard who was completely foolish. So they think they are bliss. They think they are happy because they just they can't just discriminate. They're so lazy. They're so foolish. No sense of discrimination is there. There is one story which was told by Srila Bhaktivedanta. So one time there is a king. He told his minister that he want to find out who is lazy, in the town. We want to find out the lazy persons. So he told his minister to go into the town and announce that the king want to have he want to feed everybody in the town. He want to give a big, but he want to feed everybody. So he told the minister to go into the city and announce. So the minister went to the city that tomorrow there's going to be a big bhojan. Everybody is going to feed, the king is going to feed everybody. So everybody should come. So meanwhile, before everyone comes, so a big pandal was constructed. So next day everybody came. Practically the whole town came, and everyone sit down to eat. So as everyone sat down to eat, so the king told the minister that now set this pandal on fire, set it on fire, and let's see who's going to remain. So the pandal was set on fire. Everyone ran away, except two persons. So everyone ran away, except two persons who are friends. So the other one told his friend that he said, "Look, my dear friend, I think I'm feeling some kind of a heat here. I'm feeling some kind of a heat." So the friend told him, "Well, maybe you can just turn the other way around. Maybe you can just turn the other way around, So when the king saw these two people, he said, "Oh, these two guys, these are really lazy guys. So they can't even get up, even though there's so much fire going on." He said, "These are really lazy, lazy people." So this is just the example of people who are in the mode of ignorance, like that. And of course, the scripture is saying that we should try to avoid that. Being in the mode of ignorance. So and then in the last text, the text number 40, Natar sti prithivyan vadvidivesu vapunahan satam prakriti jai mukta yad ebi syatribi gunai. There is no being existing either here or among the demigods in the higher planetary systems, which is free from these three modes of material nature. So the Lord here summarizes the total influence of the three modes of material nature all over the universe. So as I said in the beginning, that no one is free from this. Everyone is under the influence of the three modes of material nature. Everyone is under the control. Because everyone is like a puppet. We are being pulled, here and there by the three modes of material nature. So these three modes are this is what bind the living entities. So the Maya Devi, she's pulling the string this way, that way. And the way we respond to it, so that will determine our nature. Our nature is determined by how we respond to the pullings. Some of us we are attracted to the mode of goodness. Some of us are attracted to the mode of passion, Raja, and some of us we are just totally in the ignorance, Raja, Tama. So in this way we are being pulled this way, that way, and accordingly we get a corresponding material body accordingly. So which means if one is the mode of goodness, in the next life it becomes, we go to higher planet, or if it's here and it becomes like a big philosopher like that. Or if one is the mode of passion, it remains here in this material world as a human being. And if one is in the mode of tamagun, then it becomes animal in the next life. You go to the animalistic kingdom. But a devotee, of course, the life of devotional service is beyond the three modes of material nature. Because any activity that one performs in a service of the Lord, it has nothing to do with the three modes of material energy. For instance, the Lord's temple, even though the city may be in the Tamagun, in the Rajan's Tama, but the Lord's temple is not in any Muguna, it's Niguna. It's beyond, it's transcendental. And any service that one renders to the Lord is beyond the three modes of material nature. And so, because such service, it takes us away from the material world. It takes us beyond the material world in a such service. So therefore, there's a big distinction between materialistic activity and devotional activities. Any form of materialistic activity is within the three modes of material nature, and any form of devotional service to the Lord is beyond the modes of material nature. So we should try to understand that distinction, and devotee should never be analyzed according to that. Devotees should never be analyzed according to the three modes of material nature, because devotees are beyond the three modes of material nature. And the more we work towards that, the more happiness we become. Okay? So thank you very much. So if some question or comments about these 5 verses, which has been discussed by the Lord and purported by Srila Prabhupada. Yeah.
Can I use the microphone?
Yeah.
Testing. Babuji, thank you so much for the class. In a court of law, you have the judge, you have the lawyer, and you have the criminal.
Mm-hmm.
And before the criminal is sentenced, is told what his crime is.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell me what my crime is to be in the material world?
Okay. Well, your crime is you turn your face away from Krishna, so therefore you're in the material world. That's your crime. Krishna, Bhayamukha Anade Jiva, that because of being material world, why you're here? Because you turn your face away from Krishna. So therefore, at the moment you turn away from Krishna, material energy captures you. The moment you turn away your face away from Krishna. Normally, the time we are produced, even though the jiva is called anadi. Anadi means beginningless time, so that we don't know when we actually came to the material world. Now, the living entities, normally they have a choice to either look at Krishna or to look at material energy. So, when you look at material energy, you turn your face away from Krishna. What happened? Because you're facing Maya, so therefore you're here in the material world since time immemorial. So this is what Krishna said, that yes, again, by good fortune, you have to come in contact with a pure devotee of Krishna who will enlighten you that yes, you are not a product of material energy, you do not belong here. Come with me, I take you to where you belong to. So that's why you are here. That's the only crime, by turning your back towards Krishna.
Krishna is our Father. He says in the Bhagavad-Gita, Aham Bhaja Prita.
Yes.
And we are his sons and daughters.
Yes.
Now I have a son, and he wants to turn his face away from me. He wants to enjoy separately. But I don't bind him. I don't turn the 3 modes of material nature on him. I don't put I don't put the influence of the stars on him, the planets. I don't bind him up in such a way, although he's my son, and our father is Krishna. This is a very severe punishment.
No, it's not severe punishment because it's something that you desire. You want to enjoy separate from Krishna, and Krishna give you independence. Okay, you want to try it? Go and try it. Because first of all, we are meant to love Krishna. We are meant to be with him in love of him. But somehow, we desire that we want something different. So the Lord is not going to force you. It will not force you to love him. Because love cannot be called love if there is force. So you have got independence. And that independence is actually the most merciful gift that the Lord gave to the living entities, the independence that you have. So it's how you exercise that independence that will basically determine your existence. The Lord will not force you. It's not going to say, why? Because, okay, you are in the material world. You say, okay, and you are suffering from one life after the other. 3 months of material energy is there. So why did God is allowing me to suffer that much? No, because you're here in this material world, which is basically a prison house. And the prison now, the suffering there's no enjoyment in the prison. However, the kind of struggle, the kind of say that you perform is to enable you to give you the training that yes, actually I don't belong here. Why am I here? Why should I be suffering here? I belong to another place. And that is when you begin to hear the sound of the sadhu. When the sadhu is saying, Asatoma Jyoti Gamaya, stop this ignorance, come here. When you start hearing that sound from the sadhu, then you face the sadhu. Then from that moment on, your fortune begins from that moment on. So it's not the Lord's fault that you're here. It's your fault that you're here. It's your fault because you desire it. When you commit crime in the city, and you go to jail, do you blame the government that why am I in jail? Because you commit the crime, so therefore you go to jail. However, you go into jail, you are given all kind of punishment so that eventually you get out. You get it, so that you know that okay, I'm not going to come back here again to the jail again, because after all, everything here is miserable, so much suffering, So basically, it's the training. So this material is a training. It's a very severe training. And those who are able to realize that material world is not a place for anyone to be in, so therefore they want to hear the word of the Vedas, Bhagavad-Gita, the word of the sadhu. That because the sadhu, they are telling you again and again, you come to this place, come to light, don't stay in the darkness anymore. Because you don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay there. You can come live there in a moment. It's up to you. How much longer you stay here, it's not up to the law, it's up to you. So if you hear the message properly, then you want to get out. So which means you have to use your independence properly. Your independence must be properly utilized. The law will never force you, it will never take you away by force. No, you have to use your independence because he wanted to love him. He wanted to dance with him in the forest of Vrindavan. But that, you have to use your independence properly. That yes, okay, I want to dance with the Lord, and that dance is eternal dance. It's not like going to disco club and dance for a few hours and then it's finished. It's eternal dance. Ras Leela is going on eternally. It's not just something that just happened only one night. It's eternal thing. When the Ras Leela was described in the Bhagavad-Gita, 10th canto, it was described that even though the description said that it took place, within the night, within like 5-6 hours, but actually Lord Brahma, he actually blocked out. He actually took place in one night of Brahma. So one night of Brahma is 4.2 billion years, huh?
Very long time.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's very long time. It's very long time. Ras Leela, so, you can just imagine. That's a real dance, a dance with the divine. The real disco dance, not that you go to the club and dance for 1 or 2 hours and, and then get yourself drunk just to be happy. No, you dance with the Lord, and that Lord is You can't even calculate the amount of time.
Can I ask you a question about free will?
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning of your talk, you say we have no free will, and at the end, just now, you say we do have the free will.
Now,
Can you
okay.
tell me which one it is?
Now, when I say we are not free will, I mean when you are caught up in the material energy, because you're a prisoner, and so you have no freedom, no free will, but you have no freedom, because you have been put string here and there. You have no freedom. But the moment you desire to get out of it, but why you have no freedom? Because you have lost your intelligence. All the intelligence has been taken away. So therefore, you've lost sense of who you are. You've lost sense that you're a spirit soul, which is actually a part of Krishna. So therefore, because you've lost all your senses, you've lost your identity. So therefore, you're just there. When you're in prison, what freedom do you have? You don't have no freedom. You wake up when they tell you to wake up, and then you go to sleep when they tell you to go to sleep. But at the same time, if you behave nicely, then you can get out of prison. Is it? Being in prison is not a permanent thing. So similarly, also in this material world, it's not a permanent thing. Being in the material world, the moment we start becoming thoughtful, about who we are, who are we, why are we in this material world. The moment we start thinking about that, from that moment, we start gaining our real freedom, by which can be utilized whereby we start hearing the word of the sadhu, because it's only when the sadhu comes, only a sadhu can take you out of the material world through his message. Nobody else that can take you out. So in one sense, you're basically powerless in one sense. But when the sadhu comes with his message, and you're fortunate to hear his message, then you can get out. You can get out of the prison house of the material world. Otherwise, it's impossible. So the Krishna said, Maya Dakshina Prakriti. He said, this material energy of mine is very, very tough. Very, very difficult to overcome. But one who surrenders to me can get out of it. It's just like, there's another example is mentioned that there's a vast ocean of the vast ocean of material existence, which is difficult to cross over. But for a devotee of the Lord, he become just like the vast ocean become just like a small puddle of water that can easily be crossed over. You see, that is when one surrenders unto Krishna through his pure devotees. So as we get it through the end of this chapter, so more of this discussion is going to be there as you get through the end of this chapter, whereby the Lord said, just surrender unto me, and I will deliver you from everything, so you have nothing to fear. So towards the end of this chapter, we're going to be hearing this message, how we can eventually get out. So again, the material world is created because we desire it. We want to. We turn our back towards Krishna. So material energy was created for us because of that. But we can also get out of it. And of course, the moment you come to the devotional service of the Lord, so you are no longer subjected to the three modes of material nature. You are no longer subjected to the material energy once you surrender to Krishna. So therefore, in the song of Lochan Das Thakur, he said, Parama Karuna, Paudijana, Nitai Gurachanda, Sabe Avatara. It is said that Sarasiromani Kivala and Kanda, that this material, these two great personalities, Nitya and Gaurachandra, so they've given us this process, which is the process of devotional service, and it's very, very easily, is a part of bliss. Kevala Anandaka is a part of happiness, a part of bliss. Once you come in, then you become a happy person. So therefore, the devotee is always happy. I hope it's okay. Any other points? Question? Comment? You like to comment? Make some comment, Prabhu?
You did a good class. I got a cold.
Oh, okay. Anyway, thank you very much. I guess it's almost time for the Dhammadhara Stakan. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. Go up in the Hare Krishna.